That's how bad the dash was. Yes. For several months now, I've been slowly collecting parts for the OG, and I can say today is finally the day to begin on stage 1.5 of this build. I am absolutely terrified for what I'm about to start. 12 years of Hawaii sunshine does not do plastic any good, and that interior is filled with it, and I'm scared. So aloha, welcome back to paradise, a little piece of paradise I call the Lonestar Hawaiian Garage. If you guys are new, this is my beloved fleet of vehicles. From left to right, we have the new black tie ZL1, my absolute dream car we picked up back in December. We have the OG on the channel, had this thing for years, the 2007 Silverado, and then my wife's daily driver and your guys' favorite truck on the channel, which is the 2020 Trail Boss. And if you are new, I'm a silly Hawaiian Texan that likes cars, and what we're doing today is finally digging in to my 2007 Silverado. I bought this thing for 10,000 bucks years and years ago in Waianae, Hawaii, before moving here to Texas. This is my favorite car in the fleet. This is the OG. This is what started the channel. But the problem with these trucks, this generation of truck, I have yet to see one without a dashboard that looks like a dried up desert floor. What I've been doing over the last several months is collecting a lot of parts to do a full rebuild on the interior here. So what we are doing this morning is going to take her for a little spin, get the engine up the temp, get the fluids running, because I have a feeling that this truck's gonna sit for a little bit while I'm doing this. So here's a cold start, guys. You know, I find it hilarious. I posted on Instagram what you wanted to see this weekend, whether it was the $60,000 supercar killing ZL1 or the old $10,000 pickup truck. And overwhelmingly, everybody wanted to see the OG. Like no one, actually I think one person asked for the ZL1. Everyone else was all about the OG, which I find hilarious. And bottom of my heart, oh yeah. So let's go ahead and head back to the Lonestar Hawaiian Garage and start tearing out this interior. I think the engine's happy, transmission's happy. So let's go ahead and get back in the garage and start cranking on this thing. I'm terrified. All right, guys, here's where the truck's going to sit until this project is over. Also, the garage doors are open, so the leaves have begun to assemble. They're ready to enter my garage. Freaking arch nemesis here. So what we're gonna do first is actually unhook the battery. At one point or another, I need to be handling the airbags, so I need to make sure that there's no electrical current or even power going to those for a little bit before I do that. And then we're gonna empty out the parts department, also known as my laundry room, and actually pull out what I've been collecting over the last few months for this truck, and then the dashboard's coming out. Here comes the pups, here comes the pups. So when I said I've been collecting parts for the last few months, I definitely was not kidding. I'm so excited to see all these out here in one place. They've been scattered throughout the house for way too long. In terms of the state of the union, or my dashboard, it's horrible, guys. I've tried to repair it a few different times throughout the years just to prevent it from continuing to crack, but my efforts have been a complete fail. And it's gotten to the point now that when we drive it anywhere, especially these backcountry roads, it just rattles so badly. I know a few of you recommended to repair the cracks in the dash, but the plastic is so brittle now that even if I did repair the cracks, it'll continue to crack in other locations. So we're replacing the dashboard altogether, including this piece here. And that's what that big box is behind me. Along with the dashboard, we are upgrading our radio finally, as well as speakers, subwoofer, amplifier. Also gonna be doing Dynamat and Kilomat throughout the entire truck from top to bottom. I wanna make this thing as luxury as possible. That way when I go stage 2 on the build, which is motor, suspension, everything else we're gonna do, the interior is ready to go. Wish me luck. Time check. It is 9 a.m. Here we go. First piece, a success. No broken clips, that's huge. One down, 500,000 to go. This is not good, guys. They have begun to assemble. All of these leaves have now congregated and have now entered the garage. This is just gonna get worse and worse. But I don't want to curse anything, but I have not broken one clip yet. And I refilled my fuses. Look at that, guys. I'm doing a responsible thing nowadays. Guys, what if we inserted a picture of my face on the Speedo? Actually, that'd be a good prank for the wife. What if I did that on the trail block? That way when my wife drives, she can't help but look at me because Speedo. Plastic. You know what's sad? I think the gauge cluster in the 07 actually looks better than the one in the 2020. What do you guys think? So guys, this week on Awesome Impulse Purchases, I bought a Milwaukee M18 rocket light. I've always wanted these things. I'm so sick of dragging around this spotlight with my extension cords, and the cords are always in the way. I want something that'll run off a battery, and I have my M18 batteries here, so this lithium-ion battery will work perfectly for this light, and it actually stands really tall, and it's really, really bright. So, yes, impulse purchase for the win. Woo, that's so much better. Yes. Holy crap, this thing is awesome. All right, so next up, we're gonna pull the radio out. This is an aftermarket radio, so I'm kind of worried what's behind there or how they wired it up. So we'll pull that one out. We need to get this whole bezel out of here. We'll have a few plugs behind here for the climate control, and then once we finish that, we'll be over at the passenger side. There we go, old radio. Anybody want it? It'll be in the trash. Whew. And miraculously, no clips broke. All right, guys, finally time for the passenger side. And this is a piece that fell actually out of the dash. So what we're gonna do here is actually flip this all the way down. And what there is, there's a little plastic piece in here. You press that plastic piece in just slightly, and it'll slip past the stopper there, and that drops all the way down. You can access this pretty easy. Let me get started on that one. Want to take a quick moment and celebrate because I just unplugged the airbag and it has not exploded. So what I'm doing is slowly taking this apart. I don't want to give you guys agonizing bolt by bolt what to take out. So really go from right to left and just kind of wiggle the plastic around and see where it's being held down by bolts. So that's what I've been slowly doing across, but what I wanted to do is finally get that airbag unhooked and then get this thing out. So I'm gonna press it out from the bottom. There's little tabs that kind of lock in this piece here. But just to make sure to ground yourself before touch a piece of bare metal, get rid of any static electricity, make sure the battery is unhooked for over 20 minutes, just to make sure, because last thing I want is a busted windshield or just an exploded face from an airbag. I've been in the darkness for 40 days. All right, here's one of the pieces. I've been, look at that. Searching for holy flame. Coming out in pieces. A sign to light up the way. Bummer. All right, drop it all. Can you help me out? Oh. I've been more certain of truth before. Get out of here. So this should be the funny part because this is what just came out of that truck. This is what was left of my dash cover. Like this is, yeah, that's bad. And every single tab had broken off. That one, that one, that one. That's gonna look so good. Yes. Here's a couple paychecks sitting on my floor. So we got two separate pieces. This piece here, which is that top cover, and then obviously the full cover for the dash. These were purchased together, but they were separate items, if that makes any sense. The material they're using now is actually a little bit different than it used to be. This is a straight plastic where that's more of a rubberized finish. So either this is what that used to look like, or they figured out that this is a horrible material and it cracks, so they changed it. I'm hoping it's the latter. But what we still need to do is pull the remaining pieces of the dash because all these broken pieces are still kind of in there mounted somewhere. So this is looking so good. I'm so excited to finally get this dealt with. Good things are happening, guys. Good things. All right, we are all cleaned out and we're ready for our new dashboard finally. And just for perspective, this is what I just pulled out of there. Like that. That's how bad the dash was. All these little pieces have just fallen into the dash and I finally pulled them out. What we're gonna do now is actually go completely overboard with this. I wanna do the inside absolutely, call it as luxury as I can possibly do. As you see behind me, we have some Dynamat. This stuff is not cheap. This is a sound deadening material and typically you use it kind of on your floorboards and your roof line. What I'm gonna try to do, everything that moves, like these vents up in here where it can rattle, I wanna put some Dynamat down to prevent any type of rattle noises. That's the goal anyways. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we'll see.
Oh, can you help me out?
I'm kind of laughing to myself a little bit because this is one of those things where it's, oh, this is what it's supposed to look like. Because mine was so far gone ever since I owned the truck that really, I had no idea how this was supposed to be. So all the clips are lined up, I believe, and there's like little hooks on the inside, which didn't exist on my last one. I'm gonna finish the day without breaking any clips. Oop, there's one, there's two. Oh, this is so satisfying. Clip. Oh, that is so satisfying. 14 years old this truck is, and my dash is brand new. I am so excited about this. I wanted this for so long. Here is a portion that goes underneath the steering wheel. For some reason, this is always rattled really bad. And actually, I had Gorilla Tape on here a few years ago just to try to keep it from rattling. But I'm gonna take Dynamat now and actually kind of line the inside to prevent this from rattling anymore. It'll deaden the sound. And then we'll get this thing back up under here. Again, this is the original part that came off the truck. So everything else going on here is all original stuff. And it's a slight difference in the color tone. I think if I get some armor on here, it'll actually shine up pretty well. Home stretch, boys. And one additional part we are going to install today you guys have not seen yet is this. Now, funny enough, regardless of the Silverado of this generation you will have two plugs back here, but if you have an LT Silverado like myself, it will only have one inlet plug, which is for your headlight switch and then your dimmer here. These trucks are capable of having the messenger on the gauge cluster. We actually kind of toggle through, I believe it's your tire pressure, your DTCs, and then other functions as well. But for some reason, if you don't get the hop level trim, you don't get it. So actually, I'm gonna be installing this piece today, which was sent to me by a subscriber years ago. For years, I've been holding on to this, knowing I was gonna do this project, and it's finally time to install this. I don't remember your name. If you are still a subscriber and still watching, thank you, because we're finally getting this in here. Go! Can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or are you speaking now? Are you speaking now? Oh, I think I can feel you say dream big, 'cause boy, you're gonna make it. Stay right, guys, we're about wrapped up. It is the moment of truth. It is time to hook the battery back up and hope the airbags don't go off. That'd be a horrible. Hey, stay away from the truck. Over here. Whew. Everything's coming on. Is the ignition on? Hey, did you turn that on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ignition. Oh, good. It's lit up. That's good news. Okay. Let's see what this does. Display language. Door unlock. Exit lighting. Are you kidding me? This has been in this truck the entire time. We didn't have a control module, but the plug and everything's there. That is crazy. What else is on here? Approach. Are you kidding? Approach lighting. Factory settings. What does this one do? Oil life. English. Engine hours. That's new. Relearn tire positions. Relearn remote key. What? I can turn it off? Trip. Fuel. My fuel use. I've used 9,468 gallons of fuel. I'm actually very excited right now. Average fuel economy, 13.9. That's not very good. I had no idea this truck even had functions like this. And if you're wondering why we didn't put all the paneling back on, I'm going to start working on the radio, the wiring, the new harnesses. And we also have some carbon fiber samples arriving, which is going to be sick. And I'll save the details for later. Well, guys, that's a wrap of this episode of the Interior Build series. We have multiple episodes coming up very shortly. We're going to be upgrading this thing big time. And to be honest, I am so happy right now with my dash. We have an abundance of Dynamat. We have a lot of Killmat. And we have upgraded radios, we have upgraded speakers, we have an amplifier, we have subwoofer. Guys, the interior build, we have a lot of fun stuff coming. So if you have not subscribed to the channel just yet, now would be a good time to subscribe. Hit that notification bell as well so you'll miss out on the upcoming videos. We have a lot coming for the 07 Silverado this year. Once we get the interior up to where I'm thinking, we're going right back to the suspension. We're gonna be adding power. This thing is gonna be an absolute beast when we're done with it. I am so excited for what this thing is gonna become. And I hope you guys are excited as well. I want to thank everybody for participating in last week's giveaway. And to our 5 winners, congratulations, guys. We're going to do more of those, so stay tuned for future videos. If you want to follow me on Instagram for regular updates on this, the ZL1, and the Trail Boss, follow me on Instagram at Lonestar Hawaiian, also on TikTok now. But it is late. This guy needs to go to bed, and I'm tired as well. So we'll see you in a few days for our next video. Until then, y'all take care, and aloha.